the solution.
Get a guy, yes!
Helmet-free tackle safety and performance training systems, advancing the science of tackling safety and performance since 1997. Honor and courage. We salute the United States Marines for the sacrifices they make daily to protect our freedom. And just as every Marine is a motivated rifleman prepared to defend our country when called, we strive to embody the Marine Corps' spirit of readiness of preparing each player to tackle properly when there's a sudden change of possession of the football due to a fumble or interception. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Evidence-based. Evidence-based practice refers to the use of research and scientific studies as a base for determining the best practice in a field. The movement began in the 1990s with a focus on the medical profession. It has since crossed the line to other professions, including education. The basic premise of the movement is to provide transparency and to assure the public that techniques and procedures will provide the best possible interventions or treatments. Evidence-based. Science. A systematic series of steps are followed in order to reliably predict a specific type of outcome. Science. Technologies. Tools and knowledge are used for the study of a particular science. Technologies. The Dip and Rip Sticks Words to Play by 12-Step Tackle Progression System is a combination of science and technologies designed to mentally and physically prepare a player to avoid initiating contact with the crown of their helmet or exposing their helmet to contact while they're in the act of making a tackle. Play like you practice. Visualize. The evidence-based Dip and Rip Sticks Words to Play by 12-Step Tackle Progression System is a systematic series of steps that are followed to allow defenders to play like they practice by serving as mental signposts that provide defenders with body awareness to maintain their defensive body posture, or DBP, through each phase of making the tackle. This assures the defender does not initiate contact with the crown of their helmet, nor expose their helmet to contact while they're in the act of making the tackle. Grab cloth. The Dip and Rip Sticks Words to Play by 12-Step Tackle Progression System. From the beginning, the middle, and the end of making the tackle.
When I talk to a group of people, I'm not talking to a squad, I'm talking to you. Because today, you matter more to me than anybody else on the planet Earth. You. This is about you. When I'm talking, who am I talking to? When I'm talking to him, who am I talking to? When I ask you who I'm talking to, I want everybody's mouth to move. Everybody has to know how to tackle. Because it's instant offense and it's instant defense. It's an interception or a fumble. And guys on offense have to know how to tackle better than the guys on defense because they do it the least. And that moment when you do it wrong can cost you your very life.
Sink. That's optimum hit position.
Former player, Coach Bobby Hosea, is leading the movement to teach proper tackling at all levels of football.
So he's going to explode his hips. Keep your hands on your back. Explode your hips to the top of the numbers and get some air and tell me how many fingers. Woo! Lord have mercy. How many? 2. Do it again. Where did his head go, Coach? Did he go to the side? Did he go down? Did he go to the side? It went up. How many years you want to play in the NFL? 15. He wants to play 15 years. Where's your head going to go on every tackle? He said up. Amen.
He sounds like a drill sergeant barking out command.
Every single time. How many times? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to?
Bobby Hosea is the founder and coach of Train 'em Up Academy, a tackling camp that teaches kids a 12-step tackling method.
The way you tackle, which will keep you safe. Okay, there's no accidents.
Brain injuries are not accidents. People get paralyzed in football. It's not an accident.
Take a look at this hit, one of the most talked about from last year's college football season. Jadeveon Clowney making a direct hit with the crown of his helmet. The one-time UCLA defensive back who played professionally in Canada and the U.S. Football League created his tackling program back in 1997. In 2011, a study was done on his method.
There was a scientific research study done on my tackling technique. It showed a 43% reduction in helmet first impact. That was 100% of the crown. That's where all the problems are. You take the crown out of the tackle, you take out a multitude of injuries.
Is that focus on safety that drew some 150 people to the LA84 Foundation and a special youth sports conference on football head trauma. And should children even be playing tackle football?
Football right now is undergoing its third major crisis, and it's the concussion crisis, a topic which I think is of great importance at all levels of sport, but certainly even more so for our youth.
Dr. Robert Cantu is one of the foremost authorities on traumatic brain injury and has authored over 379 scientific publications and written some 32 books, including Concussions and Our Kids. He clearly understands the danger of blows to the head, especially to kids.
Bobby's here, and I love what he's done with the tackling for youngsters. Technique is a huge thing, if taught properly, can avoid a lot of unnecessary head trauma. Much of it happens with poor technique. More inventive things like Bobby has done, that's what we need, I believe. We just can't be doing it with live bodies. The price is too high to pay.
It's time to have a standardized tackling progression all across the board. Right now, tackling is a Heinz 57 approach. Whatever your grandfather taught your dad, that's what he taught you, so that's what you're teaching them. But we know now that's antiquated. There's things that are dangerous. So number one is educate the coaches.
Parents, players, coaches, administrators. There are now tackling techniques that are being taught throughout the country, teaching players to put their head to the side or aim for a trail hip. Anytime the hips and head are on the same level, that's a risk of injury. Never place your head to the side, down, across the body of the ball carrier. It is a dangerous tackling technique. So here are 5 questions you want to ask before you teach any tackling technique. First, what is the objective of the instruction? Number 2, what is the risk of the instruction? Number 3, what is the consequence of the risk of the instruction? Number 4, what is the result of the consequence of the instruction? And number 5, what is the alternative to the original instruction? If your instructions lead to helmet exposure to contact or initiating contact with the helmet, you must eliminate it and replace it. There's only one tackling technique on the planet that eliminates crown first impact or helmet exposure to contact while defenders are in the act of making a tackle. LA84 Foundation, one of the largest funders of youth sports in California, commissioned a scientific research study to determine if the Hosea method was effective at lowering head impact while defenders were in the act of making a tackle. The result of that phase 1 study showed that the Hosea method removed 100% of the crown from the tackle when compared to the traditional tackling technique that registered all the impacts to the crown of the head. Look at it, analyze it, eliminate it, and replace it. Tackle football can only be safe if you know what's dangerous.
Next up, fear factor.